Morning, Chris. How are you? Let me see who else did I miss. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Celia. Oh, it went really fast just now. Good morning, Katrina. I don't know who I missed, but I know I missed someone because it went really fast. If you are joining me anywhere other than TikTok, please say hi so I can greet you in the chat, or else I will not know that you are there. If you are joining me on Substack, I cannot see your comments. Just know that I appreciate you and I'm glad you are there watching. Good morning, Beach Bum Wannabe. Good morning, Witch. I think I said good morning to Brandy. Good morning, Carla. Good morning, Stephanie. I'm not sure who else I have missed, but good morning, July. Good morning, Titus. What's up, Winn-Dixie? Ready to see you guys. Glad everybody is here. Good morning, Zoe. Good morning, Gloria. Good to see you over there in the Book of Faces. Hello, Jen. What's up, folks? Hey, Virginia. Good morning. Hey, Melinda. Listen, I've already, good morning, Javibration. Good morning, Frida. I literally have already been messaging back and forth with, good morning, Jen. Good morning, Audra and Michelle. I've already been messaging back and forth with my military friend, alaikum salam Allah Shak Shak, this morning over Pete Hegseth's deal, which we can talk about. Good morning, Nini and Kimber and Ann D and Miss Slim Shady, Butter's House, all of you guys. Appreciate you guys. Good morning, Jersey Joe. Good to see y'all this morning. It is Friday. Power outage here. Oh, good gosh, that sucks. I'm glad you have what you need as well. So appreciate that. Yeah, we'll talk about it in just a second. And, let me just say this. I haven't been talking a whole lot about the Lego videos, but the latest one that has come out by Iran, and it is specifically focused on Pete Hegseth. It is a damn doozy. Good morning, Carl. And in many ways. So holy shit. Good morning, Mario. Yes, it was. Oh, woof. It's a whoo-wee. Yeah. They haven't missed a beat, folks. If you think that the world is not paying attention to us, they're all over the place. Butter's House. Good morning, Cam. How's our girl Genevieve doing? Yeah, I logged on to TikTok and they thought it was like the first thing I needed to see. And I was like, wow, it literally calls him by name. It talks about his alcoholism. It talks about him being drunk at Fox News. He talks about the people that he worked with at Fox News calling him toxic. It talks about his NDA and his settlement with the woman who made allegations of SA. It talks about that. It talks about, him paying her off during the Me Too movement. It is an absolute doozy. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Jamie. The new AI video from Iran. Yeah, the new Lego AI video from Iran. I mean, it literally talks about so much. Good morning, Nancy G. One of the things that it does is tell you how much they have paid attention to this administration and everything that led up through Pete's appointment and afterwards, right? So it's really I don't know, Keela. I'm not sure about that. I think Tulsi will go next. There's already whispers that he's been asking about that. Good morning, Amber. So, there's a lot going on. One of the things that I did want to point out is that the women always take the fall, which is why I've got Ghislaine up there beside Trump and Jeffrey and Ehud Barak and Bibi and Putin and Bill. You know what I mean? Whereas Ghislaine is the only one who's doing time. And then you see, Kristi Noem has already been taken out, and so has Pam Bondi. So it's always interesting to watch how they go about these things, and it does appear that they always go after the women first, which is interesting because people warn them, right? People warn them. So if you don't understand that It's really important, folks, that people understand something. There is no such thing as loyalty with Donald Trump. You may be loyal to him, but the idea that that is a two-way street is ridiculous. She cannot be pardoned for any things that is state crime related. So I wouldn't be thinking about that, right? So it'll be interesting to see how these things come about, and the things that she directed that caused issues within state courts, right? Good morning, Making Magic. Oh, thank you, Candy, for the glasses. I appreciate that. Um, so good morning, Teresa. Good to see you guys. I actually have a long weekend ahead of me. I gotta cut and color my hair and do all that stuff, and whatever. All right. So mad that women can't do their jobs. No. Are you mad that women typically do the jobs better than men? Mm. Like, are you mad about that? Are you mad that we can multitask and you can't? Are you mad about that? Maybe. I'm just wondering. Do you know how your brain works? Because I do. I mean, if you don't know how your brain works, we all do based on your comments in the chat. That's not a compliment. Just, just saying. So, Daniel, what is a woman? Listen, they were supposed to teach you that in health class. I don't know if you've never been with one. It's not my responsibility. If you didn't learn what a woman is in your education classes, like they do that in health education in middle school. If you don't know that, maybe go talk to your mother, or maybe you have a pastor or someone that can help you know what that is, because I don't feel comfortable helping you understand that. Yeah, I don't feel comfortable educating you on that. Yeah, if you're still unclear, and I know you have to be 18 years old or so to be on this app. Maybe it's 16 now. I don't know, but either way it goes, if you're on this app, you should be old enough to know what a woman is. So if you're not sure, you know what? I bet wherever you live, there's a public library. I bet wherever you live, there's a public library. And if you just go into the public library and ask and just ask the question, say, can you point me to the books on anatomy? You should be able to do that. Just anatomy. It can help you. Titan, get down. Hold on. He's trying me. 1 second. Hey, get down. Yeah. So just, you know, one of the things that I just don't do anymore is teach grown men basic things. I just don't. Like, if a grown man doesn't know what a woman is, that's not my responsibility to teach him. I don't know if he didn't have a dad around, or an uncle, or someone like that. Buenos dias, Mr. Barrios. Right? That's just not my responsibility to do. You should have a guy friend that can help you with that. Do you have any friends? Any? Because surely someone can help you. All right. So, good morning, Gabe the Babe. Good to see you. All right. So, folks, yeah, Titus, I'm not surprised. I am not surprised by that fact at all. Good morning, Joanna. Good to see you. All right. So, folks, we got a lot to get to today. And I do have a hard stop today at 12 o'clock. Okay. All right. So, here we go. One of the things that I do want to talk about first is Pam Bondi. And good morning, Sherry. Good to see you. And so, listen, things to recognize about the removal of Pam Bondi. The removal of Pam Bondi is not an indicator of accountability, right? I think the removal of Pam Bondi is for two reasons. Number one, she does have the testimony that is scheduled to go before the House Oversight Committee later on this month, right? However, she can still be subpoenaed no matter what, right? She doesn't have to be the AG in order to be subpoenaed to testify in front of the House Oversight Committee. She can still do that. So that's not the end all be all. I think that one of the things that I would consider is the potential for there to be some investigations. I know that there are quite a few people within the DOJ that are currently under investigation, right? We already know that Todd Blanche is, right? So her replacement is already under investigation. So I think that what this administration is doing is a couple of different things. I think that by removing Pam Bondi, what they would like is for Trump supporters to believe that he is interested in being transparent about the e-files. And since she did such a horrible job talking about that in front of Congress, that maybe he thinks this move will placate his base, which I don't believe that it will, because it won't speed up anything anyway, right? Give me one sec. So I don't think that it's going to have that type of impact or give them any sort of boost whatsoever. Did that work? Yes. Okay, great. Yeah, so I don't think that to be the case at all. Yeah, and she wasn't successful going after anyone else that that had court cases against him. And it's really it's going to be really interesting. Well, Todd can't really determine that though, right? And so this is I want everyone to really understand that as we approach the midterms, things are going to be fluid every day. Good morning, Jay Fryer. Things are going to be fluid and things are going to kind of change, and you might see lots of different changes as they try to assess what's happening to the base, what's happening to the Republican Party base. For those of you, let me ask this question. If you are new to me, can you put a 1 in the chat? If you are new to me, can you put a 1 in the chat for me? Good morning, Paige. Welcome. Glad to see you. What's up, Letty? Good to see you. Mr. Barrio, stop it. Hi, Jen and Charlie. What's up, Lily? Hi, guys. Okay, welcome. So what I like to do when I think that there might be a fair amount of new folks in here is just kind of level set so everyone knows how I run this space. Black 9, you lie. Anyway, so let me share with you how I run this space. I ask for 4 things. And it doesn't matter if you agree with me on something or disagree with me on something. I ask for 4 things. I ask for people to be respectful. It's up here at the top. I ask for people to don't use slurs of any kind. I don't care who you are, what side of the aisle you support. Don't use slurs in this space. Number 3, don't spam the comments for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's not productive. It clogs up the chat. Number 2, the algorithm doesn't like it. And last but not least, don't type in all caps. And that one might seem like it's not a big deal, but it is. All caps are reserved for my folks that are moderators and my folks that are vision impaired. I have some followers that I know are vision impaired. And so we reserve all caps for those individuals. Okay. So just don't be an asshole and act like you have some manners, and we'll be just fine. Okay. So just so everybody knows, that's how I run this space. Good morning, Cheryl, over on the Book of Faces. Glad to see you. So some of the things that we covered yesterday, I'm going to reiterate them today because it's worthwhile information that people do need to know. We are going to talk about Iran and what's happening, and the potential and the possibilities for them to start charging a poll tax, if you will, like a fee to allow ships to come through the Strait of Hormuz and what that may or may not look like. And we need to take a look and identify the ships that are currently being allowed to come through the Strait of Hormuz and who's not. Um, well, Naira, I try. Good morning, Quincy. Let me see. Iran isn't going to be capable of doing anything. Okay, well, here's what I would say, hocus pocus. Maybe it's because you believe in magic, hocus pocus, that you have that position. Good morning, Rod. What I would share is that reality tells us something different. So you can say they're not capable of doing anything, but the actual facts and circumstances of the real world that we live in indicate something entirely different. Yeah. So I hope that helps. Yeah. And here's my thing. He can say that he's not releasing any more files. That doesn't mean that that's what it's going to be. And one of the things that I keep saying to folks is, I don't care what these people say. All right. Just the same way that an executive order isn't law, right? The same way is, Todd Blanche's statement is just Todd Blanche's statement. Todd Blanche, his days as an attorney are numbered, right? Good morning, Cheryl and Mary Shaw. Good morning, Farah. So I don't really care what Todd Blanche says. I really don't. What I am interested in is actually the law and government accountability, regardless of who that is and what that looks like. So when we talk about the reality that exists today, okay, the reality that exists today is we have the Strait of Hormuz closed. And other than Iran, there's only one other country. Hala, 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 Raja. There's only one other country that has the ability to open the Strait of Hormuz. If Iran wants to open it, they can open it. If they do not, thanks, Candy Kiss. If they do not, the only country that can tell them to open it is China, right? So 90% of Iran's oil is sold to China. China buys 90% of Iran's oil. Make no mistake, they are letting Chinese tankers go through the strait. Good morning, Ageless. We know that. They're letting India's tankers go through the strait. And so as long as that continues to be the case and China isn't impacted negatively at all, they're down for this to continue. And not only is China down for this conflict in Iran, this war against Iran to continue, it's a benefit to China. It's a benefit to China, especially when you have Pete Hegseth in charge of the United States military. So in the first month of this war, we have burned through 25% of our entire Tomahawk missile stock. 25% in 30 days. The estimates are between 850 to 1,000 Tomahawk missiles. And we have total about like 3,000 left in our stockpile. To replace the 850 to 1,000 that have already been utilized in the last 30 days, it will take 2 to 3 years to replace those. If you aren't aware of that, or if you don't believe me, feel free to go read the Military Times article. And what I will do for you is, let me see if I have it up here real quick. Oh, is that it? Yes. I'm putting it in my link tree as we speak. And today, guys, I'm going to try to do that as I talk about them, because normally when I say I'm going to put it in the link tree, then I get caught up with the kiddos or whatever, and I forget. So I'm going to do it as I talk today. Okay. How does that sound? I'm going to do it as I talk today. Okay. Whoops. I think I am. All right. So, I talked about this briefly yesterday, and I want to address something that someone tagged me in. And someone tagged me in a post from someone else that is speculating on what Pete Hegseth wants to do, because he did a video saying that he wanted it to be allowed for military personnel to be able to walk around posts carrying weapons. There's a reason we don't do that, by the way, folks. And this person, laid out this conspiracy theory. And what I will say about that is, let me make a collection for these. Okay. Iran war and more. So let me just say this. What I believe is that this is an attempt to align with people in the military who share his ideologies, and to give them a little bit of oh, we're big and bad kind of boost in order to drum up support for the war in Iran. Because right now the military folks are not behind this war. You have Marines that are actually filling out the paperwork to be classified as conscientious objectors because they literally do not desire to participate in this war in Iran. And so I think what you're seeing is an attempt to, good morning, Georgia, is to kind of beef them up and make some of the beta men on post who think they need to walk around with a weapon in order to be manly, to feel that way. What I do not believe it is an attempt to take over military bases, A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z. I do know that they want loyalty in our military bases. I do know that, right? And we knew that when this administration called for all of our admirals and all of our generals to come to Virginia several months back. We knew that that was going to be a test about loyalty. And so yesterday, when Hegseth tells the highest ranking general that we have, our top in the military, in the army, to resign and to take his immediate retirement package. That's most likely the only reason for something like that. Good morning, Michael. Is quite simply they want to do something that is illegal, or they want to put boots on the ground. And that particular general was not for either of those two things. And because there was not blind loyalty, this individual was removed from their position and told to take immediate retirement. The concern about this is you cannot we already see the impacts of having loyalty in the administration instead of expertise in the administration. If you have loyalty in the military without expertise, it's literally lives at stake and on the line. And it's happening in both sides, right? But on the civilian side of the world, it happens slower, at a slower pace, because civilians are not in a physical war. When you see, all you are doing is keeping loyalists in the military, and you are not keeping the folks that have the expertise, that know how to run theater, that are well engaged and trained in war, then you're going to have an issue down the line. And there are going to be plenty of American families that are going to be mourning the loss of their loved ones in a war that we have no business being in. And we get nothing out of this. We've literally achieved nothing, and lives have already been lost. There is no regime change, right? The Ayatollah's son is who is in charge today, right? He is actually more of a hardliner than his father was. And he's considered to be more extreme than his dad was. So none of that is good for us. None of that is good for us. So we've achieved nothing there. Before this war, Iran had not taken control of the Strait of Hormuz, right? Now they have, and they are literally now talking about putting a toll in order to allow ships to pass. Right now, any passing through the strait that is taking place is being done based on negotiations directly with Iran. Okay. So that also is not a win for us. Um, the loss of life. Yeah, it is. Seeing a four-star get fired by someone that did 3 deployments. And it's not even for me just about his deployments. It's just him overall. His performance as a soldier, his performance as Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, just overall seeing it by who Pete is disgusting, right? The military didn't even let Pete Hegseth be part of Joe Biden's. Like he couldn't even be part of Joe Biden's ceremony, right? Because the military didn't trust him. So why we would do that is insane. But we did. Donald Trump did, right? And so that doesn't go unnoticed. So it's very important. Yeah, the military removed him because of the tattoos that he has. The tattoos that he has are indicative of someone that is an extremist. And so they wanted to, right. No, he's never been in command of anything except a platoon. Okay. And they removed him from being part of that ceremony, right? The other thing that people are forgetting about Pete Hegseth is that he is a Christian extremist, right? His pastor, Doug Wilson, and Doug's wife, Nancy, they don't believe that a husband can actually grape his wife. They refer, like in her books, she refers to a woman as her she refers to it as a woman's garden, and that the garden belongs to the husband, and so that the wife does not have the ability to tell the husband he can't come check out the garden whenever he wants. Good morning, Macon. Good morning, Cindy. Right? And so that's a problem for me. Anybody that believes that a husband cannot grape their wife is not okay. But yeah, that's what they believe. His children, they have schools, and the schools that they have, Pete Hegseth's children attend those schools. When I say that he is absolutely, and in my opinion, he is a white Christian nationalist, and I base that off of his language. I base that off of his actions. I base that off of the Black women in the military that he took off of the promotion list when they were up for promotion. I blame that on all of those things, right? So it's literally by his fruit I am judging him, and so that is a problem. 100%, it's a problem. And it's a problem that is the person that is in charge of the military. So yeah, so that just is what it is. What was I saying? It's just so much, right? You're welcome, Evelyn. I believe in my link tree there are other articles about Pete Hegseth and about his pastor and about their belief system and about the tattoos and all of that. We talked in depth about Pete Hegseth right before his confirmation on my live in this space a year ago, right? So a year ago, we talked about him quite in depth. I read to people the police report from the woman who said he SA'd her, and that was in 2017, right? And so we read that. That police report outlined the fact that she had bruising on her inner thigh, and all of those things. And so it's really important that people know those types of things. So, I don't know what to even say about that. And that's before you get into the affairs and the baby mamas and the whatever, right? That's a thing. So, yeah, Reverend Doug Wilson is a lot. There's actually a video of Reverend Doug Wilson saying that he's a friend to pedos. He says he's a friend to pedos. He says it's about leading them to Christ. Yeah, let me see if I can find it for you all real quick. He says it's about being a friend to them in Christ. But let me just see if I can find it for you. And that's who, by the way, that is who the Pentagon hosted for a worship service in February. If you don't know that. Yeah. Oh, here it is. I don't want 30 minutes of it though. Geez, I just want like that part. It's a lot. He says a lot of things, you guys, that are just disgusting. He also says that women should not be allowed to vote. This is Pete Hegseth's pastor that says women should not be allowed to vote. He just opened a church in DC as well. And let me see if this is the clip that I want. Hold on. Let me just see real quick. Oh, this is one of the other things that he says about women. Give me a second. His name is Doug Wilson. So give me a second, folks. I'm gonna let you have just a smidge of what he believes and what he is like. Okay. So give me 1 second. So I'm going to unmute it as quick as I can.
Women are the kind of people that people come out of.
Women are the kind of people that people come out of. That's the first thing that he just said. Women are the kind of people that people come out of.
Just think they're meant to have babies. That's it. They're just a vessel.
No, it doesn't take any talent to simply reproduce biologically. The wife and mother, who is the chief executive of the home, is entrusted with 3 or 4 or 5 eternal souls.
I'm here as a working journalist, and I'm a mom of 3.
Good for you.
Is that an issue for you?
No, it's not automatically an issue.
Josh and Amy Prince, along with their 4 kids, moved here from Washington State.
It's not an issue like in and of itself. Okay. I am telling you, it is an issue for the things that they believe. Let me see. Oh, I think this is one of the other bits. It's a whole lot. Let me see if I can do this one for you. Give me 1 sec. Is this the one that I was looking for? Oh, sorry, guys. It's going everywhere.
Really, because I wanted to be a part of a community that was.
Okay, you are not the person that I want. It didn't link to the right video. Sorry, guys. Anyway, and he describes himself as a Christian nationalist, by the way. Oh, here it is. Here you go. Okay. There you go. Yay, us. I found it. You ready? Yeah. And this is Pete Hegseth's pastor. This is what he supports. And listen, and his children goes to their schools. So here we go. Just listen.
And this is the thing. They're going to be 5 years from now friends of pedophiles as pedophiles. I'm a friend of pedophiles as a preacher of the gospel that will bring them out of that grotesque sin, right? So I'm a friend to pedophiles because Christ was a friend to sinners, right? But the thing I'd return to the.
it's the language for me. So let me just say this to me. Jesus wasn't necessarily friends with all sinners, right? Friendship is different than being accessible and being the pathway to something different. But yes, that's how they use Jesus. But to say that you're a friend to them is very different to me than saying, I'm a minister of the gospel, and so I am available to I am here to help anyone who wants to go down the path of salvation. So, right, friend is a wild choice of words, right? So I just I'm going to get to Iran in just a minute. I'm not quite there yet. So, I just really, I don't believe that people understand the complexity that surrounds the person that we have in charge of our military. Okay. And we are going to see those ramifications on many fronts as we continue to go down this path. And the reason I think we're going to go down this path, good morning, Taylor, is because the president of the United States, let me see if it was this morning or last night. No, Peggy, they are not crazy. Listen, I like to be very careful with verbiage. Donald Trump is not crazy, and neither is Pete Hegseth. They might be extremists, right? But they are not crazy. And it is very important that we don't just blame this on the crazy, because they know Pete Hegseth knows exactly what he's doing. This is not crazy. He knows exactly what he's doing. He desires this path. Right? Now, do they both have narcissistic traits? Yes, but they are again different. They are again different to me. And I am not, let me just, again, I'm going to say this. I am not a psychologist. So I am not diagnosing someone. What I would say is the characteristics that I see demonstrated between those two people. Again, for me, this is my personal observation. I believe, nope, there's a difference to the person who just called them both psychopaths. No, they're not. In my opinion, I believe that Donald Trump is a sociopath. That's my belief based on the characteristics that I have seen him display. I believe that Pete Hegseth displays the characteristics of a psychopath. So Pete Hegseth and Bibi, both to me, they demonstrate characteristics of a psychopath and narcissism, right? But for me, there's a significant distinction between that and Donald Trump, because a sociopath doesn't have the ability to, there's no emotional ability. Sociopaths tend to be very spontaneous, very impulsive, all of those things, right? BB's got charisma. BB is not impulsive. BB is a planner. He is devious. He plans things out. That is often the same case with psychopaths. Sociopaths tend to be more, yes, psychopaths are calculated. Sociopaths tend to be more erratic, more impulsive, they don't really regulate well, and they don't have the capacity. So listen, both Pete Hegseth and Bibi Netanyahu, they know how to read social cues. right? They know how to read social cues, and they know what the what is appropriate at that time. The president does not, right? And so I think that this is the thing that's interesting. And there's a so for people who are actually mental health professionals, there's a thing called the Goldwater rule, where people who are in the mental health field, they tell you don't diagnose anyone that's not your patient. And I am not in any way, shape, or form attempting to diagnose anyone, right? What I am saying is based on the characteristics that I see. It's like when you're asking, for example, do you all remember when they asked the president of the United States about Charlie Kirk passing? Do y'all remember that? And he immediately started talking about the ballroom, like talking about a friend of yours being unalived, and then going to the ballroom is just like, everybody's like, what? Like, it's that. And that is something that he does quite a bit. And so it's just understanding those types of things, let me ask a question. Okay. Right, Peggy Bear, the absence of emotion, 100%. 100%. And there's a difference between having narcissistic tendencies and traits, which everyone can display. Okay. So anyway, the most important part about this, the only reason anything about this is relevant. So let me share this with you all. The only reason any of this is relevant, right, is because these folks are in positions of power that impact not just this country, but the entire world, right? And that is the only thing that makes any of them relevant in this moment, right? So the person that is in charge, good morning, Em, the person that is in charge of our military, their capacity, their mental capacity, their views, their their ideologies, all of those things are incredibly important when we are at war with another country that has the potential to impact things globally, right? If Pete Hegseth were not in the White House and in this administration, I would give zero fucks about Pete Hegseth. I wouldn't care. And the same thing would be true for me for Donald Trump. If he were not the president of the United States, I would give zero fucks. So it's just like the deal with Kristi Noem. All right, so listen, I know so many people that have made videos and talked or had a live and talked about Kristi Noem's husband. Do you want to know why I don't do that? Because I don't care if her husband cross-dresses. I don't care. The only thing that I care about with regard to Kristi Noem is her role in this administration and what she was doing that infringed upon the rights of human beings in this country. Whatever she is dealing with personally, I don't care. And so here's the thing that people need to understand. If I am talking about someone, I'm talking about them because they are relevant to my life. If whatever you got going on, you don't ever see me talking about Barron Trump, do you? You don't hear me talking about any of his children unless there is something about what that child is doing, right, that is tied to this administration. Other than that, I don't talk about family. I don't do that because the family isn't relevant. I believe that family is off limits. Like, you can talk shit about me all day long if you don't like me, but don't talk about my family. Family is off limits. Unless your family has something to do with the actual administration and what's happening. Okay? That's it. So, Right, Zoe. That's my take on it. Okay. I don't. Are you saying that she has been, or do I think that she will be? Yeah, no, I don't think that she will be. Her last appointment wasn't successful, and I don't think this will be. I don't think this will be either. So, um, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't think that she will be. Yeah. So, and you know me, I'm not a big, I'm not a big, what should I say? I'm not a big, crystal ball kind of person, right? Where I'm guessing about what people are or aren't going to do. Good morning, Sassy. Um, but again, so okay, so come up here, my friend. I want to ask you something. Hmm. Come here, Judo, for a second. I want to ask you something as a self-professed moderate.
Yeah, what's up?
All right, so we're both military folks, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, what do you make of Pete Hegseth putting out a video saying that active duty military need to walk around post carrying weapons?
Well, hold on. Woman, you caught me brushing my teeth. Like, God damn. Anyway. Well, I mean, let's be honest. What could go wrong?
Everything.
Everything can go absolutely wrong. There is a reason why we have that policy in place, or why that policy has been put in place since probably 1776. I'm going to be real with you. What personal protection do you feel like you need to have on your installation with, well, let's be honest, we still have a lot of people dealing with GWAT, and the trauma associated with that are still within the formation. I certainly have seen many incidents where hubby comes home and some privates in the house with his old lady. Moments in my 21 years. I don't see a necessity for it. Yes, I understand the argument. Yes, we've had really bad situations. We go back to Fort Hood with Major Hassan. Yes, we've had issues. Yes, I'm not saying it isn't. But that really would have prevented those acts from happening? You got 100 soldiers just firing rounds at each other. Who knows what worse situations could happen?
Right.
You have to have the qualified belief, and I do think that generally, overall, our installations are safe. Our soldiers go there and don't have to worry about whether or not the guy 2 formation ranks down from you might be having a bad day, and it's just eyeballing that NCO in a way and manner that would make people feel very uncomfortable if something's on their hip.
Yes.
And then you go to the issue of, let's just say if there is a mental moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Commanders have the authority to, remove access to their weapon, signed weapon from the arms room.
Yes.
How are you going to enforce that off post?
I do not know. And that was my thing. So the other thing that I wanted to ask your opinion on is yesterday when he ousted the Army Chief of Staff, General Randy George, right? And 2 other generals, right? So he actually got rid of 4 military personnel in hold on. He got rid of 2 other generals plus Randy George, so 3. And let me see if I can tell you the other 2 names. Let me see if they list the other 2 names. Oh.
The only one that's been big was George.
Yeah, George was senior military assistant to Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin during the Biden administration, right?
Right.
And he asked him to retire immediately. And he's being pushed to, he's been pushing to install Jennifer Christopher Leneve as the vice chief of the Army. And I think that's who he's going to push to move up. But I think the issue for me is we talked about when they brought all of these generals to Virginia, and it was a test of loyalty, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know, Tracy. I know. I'm just not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm going to get there. This is going to bridge into that. So that was the test of loyalty. And in my opinion, the only reason you get rid of this guy is because you want to do something that is either illegal or you want to put boots on the ground in Iran, and he doesn't support that.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that was. I mean, like I said, I was surprised it took this long, but I guess there's only so many people you can get rid of the first year when it comes to your military upper echelon. I mean, remember, they let go, the Commandant of the Coast Guard, a few other people right off Jump Street.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there are still officers, 3-4-star level officers that are still sitting there under the previous administration.
Yes.
And when they get confirmed by Congress, it's a pretty lengthy term, 3 to 4 years, depending on what's going on.
Yep.
So they still have more what they call cleaning house to go. But when you start taking away people that's apolitical, right? Because they're supposed to be apolitical.
Yes.
And you are trying to infuse politics into your military. Well, guess what? They're not going to support that. And I would, while I'm not involved in that degree, I'm pretty sure as reports start coming out, they're going to start finding dissension in the upper ranks, and they're going to find out. And once I bet dollars to donuts that when General George gets his retirement, he gets his awards, he walks home, kisses the wife, relaxes a minute, he will be on a news program within the first week, and he will be able to express what's going on because there's no NDA in that situation. There isn't.
Yeah. He can say anything at that point. And the thing that I was explaining to people that really concerns me is when you keep removing these people that have 30 years in, right? And you keep removing people that have the career expertise, and you promote loyalty instead of expertise in the middle of a war, it's just not a smart thing to do. Like you can't do that. We are seeing negative impacts from that in this administration, but doing that in the military will literally cost lives.
Oh yeah. And look, we're going through, or not we, but America will be in Iran. There is no question. You are not sending 20, 30. You are not building up your forces out there just for a quick little vacation, kumbaya moment. I don't care what Iran, the only way that stops, and I'm going to be honest, is full unconditional surrender. And then at which point, we're still going to walk in there because, we need to monitor this, we need to monitor that, and make sure to keep them, quote unquote, honest. The irony behind that statement. But we're going there.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of how Iran lets that door open, whether they open willingly or we kick it open.
They're not going to open it willingly. And my thing is, I believe 100% China will get involved.
You think at that point?
I do. Listen, here's the thing. China buys 90% of their oil from Iran. China buys 90% of all of Iran's oil goes to China.
But you think they're getting involved we haven't discussed this, but the president on straight is saying, hey, come and take it. It's yours for the taking or something like that. You don't think China would be the one to go in and say, you know what, we're going to take it straight to humans.
So.
Oh, I see what you're saying. We go in there, we take Iran, we, in essence, like Venezuela, we have control of their oil. And
I don't think China's going to allow that to happen.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I don't think China's going to allow that to happen. And that's my point. Listen, there's a reason. I don't know if you saw this video or not. But one of the statements that Iran put out was send your troops. They said, we've got one thing to say to troops. And this is what he said, come closer. There is a reason they are saying, come closer.
Right.
There is a reason. And I'm here to tell you, Judo, I do not believe that we have planned effectively for this war. Having 30,000, 20,000, 30,000 of our troops over there is not smart. And they have had, as you and I both know, decades to plan for this.
Mm-hmm.
We've gutted too much. We've gutted too much of our, for folks that think the military just operates the way the military operates, like there's other things that happened when this administration said, oh, we're going to focus on lethality only, right? And for example, they got rid of the Civilian Protection Center of Excellence, right? So the Civilian Center of the Center for Civilian Protection of Excellence, whatever that is. So they had this entire department that was ran by expert targeters from the Army and the Air Force. And their whole system was to ensure that we had the most up-to-date targeting information to ensure the least amount of civilian casualties possible, right? Hegseth gutted and closed down that entire agency 7-8 months ago. And the first thing we did was hit 2 girls' schools.
Yeah, in the effort of claiming woke and DEI, he shut that facility down.
Right.
All right.
Right. And so I just don't think people understand how much of the back end has been compromised by Doge and all the things that they did. I don't think that people understand that.
I don't know. I'm just, I always thought, and again, I'm still learning this and I'm still trying to figure it out, Congress is supposed to have oversight. And I would think they would have some leverage of saying no.
They do. They're just not going to.
Yeah.
This is my thing. And so Judo, you know me. I will call a thing. I don't care if it's a Democrat or if it's a Republican, right? The reason why, in my mind, the only option in November is to elect a Democratic majority is because the GOP majority has demonstrated without question that they will not step in and put this administration under control. They will not use their separate but equal powers to do the right thing by the American people.
All right.
And so if you're not going to do that, we have no choice. And there are some Dems that I can't wait for them to be out of office, but right now is not the time. These folks have kissed the ring. They are part of the overall agenda. And I don't think that people understand the overall agenda in this country and what they intend for it to be like. Well, so no, let me just be clear. There's 2 different parts of this, folks. There is the plan for the United States of America, and then there is the allegiance and support of Israel, right? And the reality is this: the Democratic Party and the Republican Party are both equally responsible and complicit in Israel's shit. So this is my stance. The Democrats and the Republicans are very different on domestic policy. On foreign policy, there's not much difference between the 2 of them. And when it's foreign policy related to Israel, there's no difference between the 2 of them.
Right.
Okay. So foreign policy, they're drastically different. I mean, domestic policy, they are drastically different. Foreign policy, there's almost no difference. And with regard to Israel, there is zero difference, right? And so for me, what I have to be concerned about first and foremost is domestic policy. I have to be concerned about the democratic process in the United States of America. And what I do not believe is that the GOP leadership in the Republican Party has the morality, the integrity, and the courage to stand up to this administration.
Yeah, I mean, the facts are already, the proof is in the pudding.
Right.
It really is, and
and so for me, the way that I look at this, Judah, is I look at this as a multi-pronged process for the country. Okay. So what I believe is that the progressives need to make it understood to the Democratic Party that this year, number one, if there is a progressive candidate that can primary and beat a Democrat, primary and beat them, right? And then we can vote for the more progressive, for the progressive over the establishment Democrat. But if there is not, and you are left with Cory Booker, hold your fucking nose, close your eyes, and vote for Cory Booker. Because and then the next go round, that's when we get rid of all of the people that are beholden to AIPAC, all of the people that are beholden to J Street, all of the people that are beholden to NORPAC, all of those people. But first, we must save our own country before we can save anyone else.
Yes, agreed.
And so that's where I'm at this place. So I know he took AIPAC money, Barbara. That's my point.
Right.
That's my point. But if he's not beaten in the primary, you have to vote for him. Because the bottom line is we have to leave November's midterms with a Democratic majority, whether I like all those damn Dems or not. It doesn't matter. I'm not a spoiled child. I know that I'm not going to always be able to vote for everybody that I like. And I'm not going to like about everybody that I vote for. This is not, this is literally like, I'm not going to have my cake and eat it too.
I looked at the same way with the Virginia election. We actually have another one coming up here for our state constitution and redistricting of our congressional map coming up on the 21st. Early voting is taking place right now, if y'all are not aware, if you're in the state of Virginia. But I looked at our gubernatorial candidates, right?
Yeah.
Give me a second. Yeah. And I looked and I was like, there is no way God's green earth that I could vote for Sears. There's no way.
Yeah.
She was a dumpster fire. I mean, granted, she broke the glass ceiling. Congratulations. First African-American woman that got elected to the
I don't care.
Congratulations. I know, but there was that glass ceiling, right?
She was horrible.
She was horrible. She was absolutely horrible,
Yes.
And I was very disappointed that I believed we had a couple of really strong candidates in the primaries that probably would have, each one of them probably would have smoked her respectively, but because of out of tradition, and I don't buy into the tradition shit. Like either you're good or you're not, right?
Right.
But they stepped away because she was the lieutenant governor.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, well, good job there. We just, I guess Democrats are becoming governor now because, there it is. And just like I'll hold my nose and be like, you know what? It could be a lot freaking worse.
Yes.
And and it's just sometimes it's just what it is what it is.
Yeah.
We'll reset in 4 years and then we'll take a look and see what's on both sides of the aisle. We'll take a look and see what's available or whatever, It should be like that. I don't think people should step away or step aside because maybe you do have something positive to offer. Maybe you have that different change or that different mindset or bring that different variable. And if it's a bad one, well, guess what? You get ousted in 2 years.
100%.
If it's not, you're great. Well, guess what? You'll get rehired again by the American people or your constituents and go out there and do great and wonderful things.
100%.
But I believe every job in the government, well, political government, right, should be challenged.
Yeah.
It should not be a free ticket.
No.
It shouldn't be. Every job should, because you need to prove to us that you are worthy for another term.
Yeah.
That's my opinion of it. But
and this is my thing. I think that when we look at like where we are currently, all right. Okay. So this is my thing. I don't know. There's only a couple. Let me not even lie. Let me think. I'm trying to think if there is a candidate on any side of anybody's aisle running for a federal position where I'm fucking excited. Mm-mm. I don't think so. Not that I know of right now, right? Not that I know of right now. So, but this is my thing. That doesn't mean that I cannot participate. Let me just be clear to anybody that is like, oh, I can't get myself to vote for a Dem. Let me just tell you this very clearly. Okay. This country will not survive as a democratic constitutional republic if 90 million people sit the fuck out the way they did in 2024.
because they need that. They need people to stay home.
Yes.
Because if people stay home, i.e. Democrats, progressives, independents even, if they sit home, then it will be a full reign. You can call it lame duck presidency, but he will have a blank check to do whatever you want.
And we will not survive it.
Right.
We won't.
Right.
Not as a democratic constitutional republic. We will not. And I really can't stress that enough to people. It's not just about it's not just about a blank check. It's about the institutions and the governments that we have. They will not last. All of our departments are already being devastated. If you all do not understand the significance of a large portion of the Department of Education being moved to the Department of Labor, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Oof, hold on. Sorry. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you if you don't understand. I don't know what to tell you if you don't understand that a large portion of the Department of Education has been moved to the Department of Labor. How many of you all did not know that? If you did not know that, please feel free to just put a 1 in the comments. If you did not know that a huge portion of the Department of Education has been moved to the Department of Labor.
Yeah. That was done in like almost a cover of nightness, right? I was shocked because I was like, how are you going to dispose with most of the stuff and where are you going to divide these things at, right? And then when they're like, here's the Department of Labor. I'm like,
because they want your children to be engaged in child labor. If you listen to the way that they talk. So let me tell you something. They want you to start working earlier. Dr. Oz told y'all this shit. He said they want you to work earlier and they want you to work longer. Did you all hear this? Okay, so listen, I'm going to play the clip for y'all. Hold on. I'm going to play the clip for you guys because you need to hear him say what he said.
You wonder why how a guy that, not trying to make fun of it, had a stroke won their Senate seat because that guy has ideas like that.
Yes, it is absolutely crazy. So let me see if I can. Yeah, here it is. Good God.
Listen up, chat.
Okay, so hold on. I'm gonna. Geez, oh Pete, here we go. Let me share it over here. Literally work until you die. So here we go.
Start working a year earlier, right out of high school, or work a year later, not retire.
Yeah, so the Republican plan is to make Americans start working.
Hear her talk. Fuck that. I don't want to hear you. I just want to hear what the fuck he says. I hate it when people do that. I'm not clicking this to hear you. I'm clicking this because I just want to hear him. Damn it. Give me a second. Sorry, y'all. I'm like, yes. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Jeez.
If we could get the average American, because they feel healthy, they're vital, they're strong, they have agency over their future, to start working a year earlier, right out of high school, or work a year later, not retire, or work better during their lifetime because they're healthy, it would generate about $3 trillion. $3 trillion to the U.S. economy. That would more than remove the debt. Tremendous downstream benefits. But to do that, you actually have to invest in making sure people want to work the extra year.
Who are the people?
You want people to want to work longer. So let me be clear. It's really important that you guys understand they intend for working class Americans to work earlier in your life, to work longer in your life, to never be able to retire, to be able to fund the fucking 1% that doesn't work now. Congress is on a 2-week break while TSA is not getting paid. That is the intention, folks. They want the ultra wealthy to be ultra wealthy while all of us work to support them. Work till you die is the mantra of this administration. To me, these issues are not partisan. Do you know what I can't stand? I cannot stand right now to go into Chick-fil-A or to go into, I don't go to Walmart and Chick-fil-A really, but to go into, I'm trying to think like where people do like to go into Chick-fil-A or to go into a Walmart or to go into a Target and see somebody that's 80 years old greeting people at the damn door or coming around and asking, do you need another drink? No, you should sit down. You are an elder. We should be serving you. We should be serving you. The elders should not be working. What the fuck is that about? And hearing my uncle, who's 84, who has survived colon cancer and has broken his back, say something like, well, sis, I don't know what I'm gonna do if they cut Social Security. I might have to go down to Walmart or something to be a greeter. What is it? So listen, do not talk to me about this country being the civilized nation, right? Don't talk to me about this being civilized. We don't respect our elders. We don't take care of our children. We don't take care of the poor. We don't help the needy. There is nothing civilized about the country, and there's definitely nothing fucking Christian about the country that we live in. Just so we're clear, there is nothing civilized or Christian about the United States of America. So, and I'm sick of people saying that. No, it's not. What does the Bible say about laying up wealth for your children? What does the Bible say about respecting your elders? What does the Bible say about feeding the poor? What does the Bible say about taking care of the needy? What does the Bible say? The president doesn't know because he reads that thing upside down. If he reads, he's not a fan of books.
I think the Trump Bible had that verse taken out, to be honest with you.
Right, along with how many of the amendments that go to the Constitution.
Exactly. It's like that everywhere. I see with where I'm working at, and no, I'm not elder, but I'm up there. But I see cashiers at the job that I work at that are way past it, and they got to do it to survive or to just make basic ends. And I'm like,
yes.
What?
Yeah.
And then people want to complain about how slow they are. And I'm like, well, you can go get a job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, Judo, I have, my mom worked a long time in a factory, right? So I'm from a small town that you either had well-to-do parents and they could pay your way to college, or you had a life that allowed you to get a scholarship to college, right? Or you joined the military, or you went to work in a factory. Like, that's pretty much it. The only good jobs that existed is if you worked for the healthcare system or if you worked for a factory job, right? And it didn't matter what that factory job did to your body, right? At least it was decent pay and you had decent insurance, right? And you know, I think about this whole work ethic. You know, if you work hard, you can make anything happen. That's bullshit. I know people that have worked hard their entire life and are still struggling. Becoming rich or becoming wealthy is not about your work ethic. It is not about your willingness to get up and go to work 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. I know incredible people. I know amazing people that will have worked their bones into the ground. And yet, guess what? They're not rich. It's crazy. Elon Musk was born into wealth. Daddy owns a damn emerald mine, right? He bought the ideas and innovation of other people and have somehow got everybody convinced that he's the smartest man in the room. And yet, and y'all still, some people still support him with a black eye, and I mean completely lit on national TV. If y'all ain't never seen nobody when the shit gets real good to him, when he said this shit right here, standing beside Trump, when he said, I said, oh, hell, he must have had some good shit right before, because it hit him. Did you see it? His eyes went all up in his head. He said, oh, I said, here we go. Really? This is what we doing. I felt like I was watching an episode of Intervention. That's what I felt like I was watching. An episode of Intervention in the fucking White House, in the Oval Office, for the whole world. Right. Y'all don't think China watched that? Y'all don't think Iran watched that? Y'all don't think Russia watched that? They've watched it all. They know the incompetency that is running this country, and they will exploit it. Given half the opportunity, they will exploit it. And damn it, our allies, I don't even listen. They doing their own thing. Our allies are saying, listen, we can all band together. Fuck, they want to do America first. Let America be alone. And we will make sure that we take care of ourselves. And that's what our allies are doing. Trump is unifying our allies, but he's unifying them against us. Right or wrong, Judo? Tell me what you think. So I'm just saying, y'all, there is a reason. So one of the things that I hear people say is, oh, you just talk. No, I don't. I do more than just talk. If you think all I do is get on TikTok and talk, you don't fucking know me yet. This is why I spent the last 2 months going over 5 years of election data for 12 states in this country and developing an action plan. This is why over 500 people have signed up to be part of the project that we're doing to get into over 40 states in this country with information that matters to them. I am tired of people saying, what can we do? Okay, well, let's do this. Let's go educate everybody. Let's go inform it. Let's go have conversations with our communities. Well, Brian, put your finger on the screen and swoop your ass right the fuck out of here. That's all you got to do. You don't like what I'm saying? Put your finger on the screen and just swoop your ass right the fuck up out of here. That's all you got to do. Like, that's not hard. I'm sorry. Peter, I do not need a man to tell me what fucking language to use, right? I really don't. I will use whatever language I want to use whenever I want to use it. I don't ever need anyone to tone police me or word police me. I am absolutely grown. And I will, let me just tell you this. A word isn't foul in and of itself. It is what you believe about that word. I listen to this administration say God, and it is foul when it comes out of their mouth because it's blasphemy. So just so we're clear. My pronouns are fuck you. That's my pronouns, Kruger. Fuck and you.
What blows my mind is that people want to try to go right off Jump Street and start insulting or start to try to discredit. You disagree with the opinion, that's okay. I don't agree with everything that Dani says, but fuck, she's one of the most amazing women that I have really truly seen on here. That I'm like, I can honestly have a conversation. We could talk about tough subjects and tough conversations. And at the end of the day, maybe she made me better. Maybe I made her better. But we come back together in the next day and be like, hey, how's your day? And we treat everybody with respect. You don't have to degrade someone. You don't have to humiliate somebody. You don't have to, I got military in me just like Dani does, right? Mm-hmm. It is what it is. You're just gonna have to accept it. But at the end of the day, if you're afraid to have a conversation, then just go home into your little four walls. Stop being a coward.
Yeah.
It's too easy.
I can't do the beta man. Judah, they love to come in here and say things like, are you trans? And I'm like, why are you asking about my parts? And then do you know what I automatically ask me? When they start to ask me about my physical anatomy, I ask them, are you on that list? Are you allowed to live beside a school, or do you have to stay away from parks? You got to turn your lights off when it's Halloween? Because it's just weird to be asking people you don't know about their parts. You're just weird. It's nasty. Did your mama teach you no better? I'm just saying, it's just crazy to me. The obsession that people have with things like that. That's what I ask. I do. If you've been in here with me, that's what I ask them. Are you allowed to give out candy on Halloween, or no? You can't go to the park. But here's my thing, folks. So Judah, I don't even know if you know about the project that I've done, right?
Yes.
So when I tell y'all I have done graphics for all 50 states in this country, if you live in the United States of America and you want to know the number of people in your congressional district that are projected to lose their Medicaid because of the one big barbaric bill, put in the chat your state, just put the abbreviation for your state and the number of your congressional district, and watch what I do. Go ahead. Put your state and the number of your congressional district. Anybody?
Virginia, District 1.
Okay, I got you. Hold on. Guido's first. I'll do the rest of y'all in a second. I'm going to show y'all something. So when I say we are doing our very first day of action on April the 11th. Hold on, y'all. I got to do Virginia 1 first. So let me just show you all while I'm pulling this up. Okay. And I'm going to share my screen with these folks over here. I told y'all I got to color my hair this weekend and cut it. So y'all getting a bandana for 2 days. All right. So first, this is my Google Drive that everybody will have access to in in a week or so. All right. So watch. This is Project for the People. And these are resources that I have made for all of you to use. Okay.
Wow.
So when you go nationwide resources, they are specifically nationwide. These are shareable flyers for people. These are state digital resources. And literally for every stat that I give you, this is a link to all of the sources for the information. Okay. So watch. If I go to state digital resources, you said Virginia.
Yeah.
And you said District 1.
Yeah.
So hold on. Oops.
Oh.
All right. So I've got Congressional District 1. Here's your Medicaid. 16,000 people in your district alone.
Wow.
And this is how many people are going to lose SNAP. 12,000.
Wow. There you go.
The next one I saw is Michigan District 11. So let me go back to, I'm going to go to Michigan. And Michigan, I might have your Spanish done too. I do. Virginia's, I haven't finished. So for Michigan, you said 14. Is that what you said? No, 11. So Michigan District 11, do you need English or do you need it in Spanish? What you need, English or Spanish? Here's English. It's 16,000 for you. And get this, 65% of the people in your district that are in nursing homes are on Medicaid. And this is your number for SNAP. 16,000 as well for SNAP. I saw Missouri District 8. I think that's what I saw. So listen, folks, if you want access to this information, you need to go to my link tree. You need to enter your information for Project for the People and be a part of this community. We are literally taking this info and going out into our neighborhoods. So 34,000 people in Missouri District 8 are going to lose their Medicaid between now and 2034. And 65% of the folks that are in nursing homes in Missouri have Medicaid. Missouri 4, 26,000 in Missouri District 4. So like literally, this is something that I have done for everybody, for all 50 states. Hold on, you guys, hold on. Let me show you something else. I want to show you this real quick. Did you know that Medicaid covers 41% of all of the births in the country? 41% of all of our births. How can we lose them, right? If I go to shareable flyers, so this is the flyer right now that people are sharing so that they can actually be a part of it. You can scan the QR code and join. So everybody is sharing this flyer right now. But I'm going to show you this. These are printable flyers that I'm working on, English and Spanish. Did you know that the majority of Medicaid adults in this country work, regardless of whether they're in a red state or a blue state? You see that? So why are they making this a thing? It's not a thing. No, it's not in my link tree. This is in my Google Drive. So this information is for the folks that want to be out in their communities and that want to share information online. Yeah, Tessa, I did all of this. And I started January 25th. That's when I started. And this ain't even, I mean, this literally isn't all of it. But so when people ask me, so let me just tell you what I have been hearing from people for a really, really, really long time. Yeah, let me do Florida District 11 for your parents real quick. So let me just tell you all something. What I hear from people all the time when I'm on this app is, Dani, what do we do about it? Dani, what can we do? What can we do? And so I wanted to put together something that we could do, because the bottom line is nobody from the fucking Democratic Party was putting anything together. Not that I could see, right? There was no damn playbook. I literally wrote a playbook. You haven't even seen the playbook yet. I have a whole fucking playbook that I wrote for everybody to understand what to talk about, how to talk about it, where to go. You all haven't even seen the damn data. Hold on. Florida, what did you say to me about your parents? You said Florida 11. I got you. So Medicaid, Florida 11. Oh, shit. Hold on. Let me show you. Oh, my God. I got you. This is your Florida. 75,000 people in Florida District 11. 75,000 people. That's crazy.
That's where they go to retire.
Yeah. So when I said that I went through all of the election data, I'm going to show you what that looks like. So, and I did this for 12 states so far. And the reason I picked these states is because these states had a 10% margin in 2024. So if you look down here at the bottom, see where it says Michigan, Wisconsin, Virginia, New Jersey, Georgia, Pennsylvania, North Carolina. See where it says the states down here? So I'm going to show you. So this is 2020, 2020 Senate, 2022 House, 2024 Senate, 2024 House, 2024 presidential. And so what I've tracked is not just how people voted, but how many registered voters didn't vote in those particular counties. So what I did was I looked at the 12 states that had margins of 10% or less. And then in each of those 12 states, I looked at every county in that state that for the majority of the last 5 years had margins of 10% or less. And then I did all of their numbers. And let me show you what you can do with those types of numbers. In Michigan, this is their presidential. So let me show you. In Michigan, the Republicans won the presidential election by 80,000 votes. There were 47,000 people that voted third party. That alone is 59% of this deficit. But there were 1.1 million people in just these 16 counties that were registered to vote that didn't vote in Michigan. Then watch this, in just these 16 counties. So look, if I'm looking at houses, do you see how I've showed you? I looked at these counties and then what house districts do they share in common? So you can look at the first, the eighth, the second. Now follow me. Go down here to the first, which is typically very red, right? Now watch. If you look at the registered voters not voting in just the first district, there's only 4 counties. It's 50,000. That's half of the deficit for this whole district in Congress. And this is Jack Berkman's district. He's an asshole. So I'm just saying, with just the people that voted third party and the registered voters not voting, that's 53% of the deficit to flip this entire seat in a very red district.
Yeah.
And I've done this for all of them. This is Wisconsin. This is Virginia. I've done PA. You come to, if you want to see the information, you come to, we are meeting. I got you. I will do PA 8. 1 second. So we are meeting again virtually next Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And at that time is when I will give everyone access. Am I getting this over to the DNC? No, the DNC can come pay me for it. I don't work for the DNC. I don't. Like, here's my thing. The way I feel about the Democratic Party is that progressives need to take over the Democratic Party the same way that MAGA took over Republican Party.
Hostile takeover?
Right. I'm just saying.
All right.
So here's my thing. Yeah, if the DNC wants some of this, they can absolutely come talk to me about it, because they don't pay me to be here. Even though some people think they do, they don't. They don't. All right, Jody. Nope, Teresa, I have zero interest in running for office. And the reason I'm not running for office is very simple for me, okay? When you are in, no, nobody triggered me. You're fine, Bean Girl, you're fine. And I'm not against the Democratic Party, right? I'm not. I don't know who is in charge over there, but dear God in heaven, they got to change some shit or they will not win. And my thing about this is that my interest is the people. What I get excited about is the people. I get excited about all of you, right? That's what I get excited about. And what I really get excited about is being able to give you information that is valuable to you, that isn't partisan, right? It's not partisan, but and it's helping people learn how to get connected to each other again. It's going to be on Google Meet. It's going to be on Google Meet. I literally email everybody a link to join. And this is the part that gets me excited. Can you imagine? So can you just, listen, when you go out into your community, and you knock on doors and you say to your neighbors, hey, I'm not here to talk about politics. I want to share with you some information about our district and Medicaid. And then you give them the information and you say, hey, there's a QR code on it. If you've got questions, you can sign up and come to our meetings online. So physics, bro, you don't just eliminate the Electoral College. The Electoral College is in the Constitution. Do you know what that means? That means you need a convention of states, or you need legislation that would end the Electoral College, and then you need 37 states to ratify it. I don't got time for all that, and neither do you, and neither does this country. We need things that are immediate solutions. We need immediate solutions. Yes, you will. And so what does this require, guys? It requires us. So I've got some folks that I know can't leave their houses, whether they're disabled or whatever the difference is. That's fine. That's why I did digital graphics, right? I did digital graphics. So here's what's going to happen on April 11th. Here is what's going to happen on April 11th. In at least 40 different states, in multiple counties, on April 11th, people are going to go into their neighborhoods. They're going to hand out flyers with this information for their neighbors, for their community. And all of us on social media are going to post our Medicaid information for our communities across our social networks. And everybody is going to do it using the same hashtag Project for the People. And next thing you know, there's a damn movement, because there is 500 people in 40 different states. And then hopefully by May, there's 1,000 people in 45 different states. That's the idea. And the idea is to keep having conversations from now all the way up until midterms, so that when people do go to vote, they are voting based on real information that matters to them, right? And that we have overcome this national bullshit about a Republican and a Democrat. One of the biggest reasons that they have been able to get to where we are is by voter apathy and disconnection. And listen, just yesterday they were talking about the greatest epidemic in the United States right now is loneliness. Well, get out and talk to your damn neighbors and you won't be lonely. Have conversations, because I'm telling you this and I know it to be true. Let me just tell you guys, you all, we agree on more than we disagree. I bet you that if you go out into your community and you say, which one of your neighbors do you want to lose their Medicaid? Which one of your neighbors are you okay with losing their SNAP benefits? The answer is none. Nobody wants that. So listen, Sherry down the street has 5 kids. Is it okay if she loses her SNAP? The answer is no. And that's how we have to make it real to people. You know, one of the things that I ask people, because I love to ask questions rather than tell people things, I'll ask them, hey, do you know anybody, or any of your friends and family on EBT, on SNAP? One of the reasons I ask that question is, or I'll say, do you know anybody that gets SNAP? So listen, I ask that because if they are on SNAP, I don't want to ask that. That's too intrusive. But if I just say, hey, do you know anybody that's on SNAP? Do you know anybody that's on Medicaid? They're going to say, yeah. And I'll say, this is information that they really need to have. And one of the things that I would recommend is contacting your state legislature to ask them, what is their plan for if this happens? How are they going to help you on a state level? Because Medicaid is federally and state funded. You see what I'm saying? So that's a conversation, not about red and blue, but about people. So one of the other things that we're doing, like when we meet together, folks, it's not just about getting this information, okay? But one of the things that we do is we role play. I role play how to have conversations with people. I love it.
Well, if you haven't heard, Trump just released his 2027 budget.
No,
To the,
dear
yeah,
God. I don't even want to see it.
$1.5 trillion to defense and cut domestic spending by 10%.
Fuck him. I don't think so. Yesterday, Guido, I don't know if you know this or not. I went over these numbers the other day. The budget for this year, you guys, the budget for this year that we are currently in, listen at this, you guys. They cut CDC, the funding for chronic disease prevention, they cut it by 98%. The HIV, AIDS, hepatitis, STD, and TB prevention, they cut that by 63%. They cut public health preparedness and response by 37%. They cut injury prevention and control by 29%. They cut global health by 53%. They cut CDC-wide activities and program support by 40%. They cut OSHA, occupational safety and health, by 80%. They cut environmental health by 37%. They cut birth defects, disabilities, and health by 12%. Look, and I'll show you. And by the way, before you ask, yes, all of these CDC stats are going on graphics. Yes, all of these CDC stats are going on graphics and flyers. This was the fiscal year 2026 cuts for the CDC. So you can see the numbers yourself. And your reaction is going to be the reaction of your neighbors. The way that you all just reacted to that information is how your neighbors are going to react to the same information. They're going to be like, holy hell, are you kidding me? You see what I'm saying, folks? This is the part that gets me excited. This is why I don't debate. I don't want to do the whole prove me wrong, bro bullshit. Fuck that. I don't got time for that. what I want to know, what I want to do right now is have conversations with people that truly want this country to be what it can. Do you know what our slogan is? So we're called Project for the People. Do you know what our slogan is? Our slogan is making America truly great. That's our slogan, making America truly great. And that's the part that gets me excited, because we can be truly great. We can be. We just all have to do it together. Right? And so this is the part this is why I get on TikTok and I talk to you all about what's actually happening right now and how it impacts us. And I have goosebumps, and what we need to do together. It is not about whether you are Christian or Muslim. It is not about whether you are gay or straight. It is not about how you identify as a gender or don't. It is not about how much melanin you have in your skin. Sandy, Sassy Cinderella, is asking about the link for the merch. So Sandy and Veronica, God love them, because I don't have any more bandwidth. Okay. Sandy and Veronica put together merch for Project for the People. There is shirts, hats, bags to carry your flyers in. They put it all together. Right, exactly, Damon. It is about humanity. Yes, and there's mugs. Right. It is absolutely the cuts in the treatment, but it's also the ability to get there. Yeah, I know that there's an F-15 down in Iran. I know, John. And I know that there's a search and rescue mission going on right now as well. Yeah. Thank you, though. Yeah, I know. So this is what is different about the space that you are in today. The space that you are in today is different. Yes, I'm live at least 5 or 6 days a week. Yes, we talk about what's actually happening in the country and all of those things. Be Action. I know that the links for the merch is in the Discord, but if you message Sandy, she can send you a link. Right, Tramil. It's information, and no, I don't sugarcoat too much, but it's also mobilization. For me, it's information, organization, and mobilization. I will, Cam. Information, organization, mobilization. I would love it if everybody that is in this live went to my link tree, and let me make sure I have it, the first link still. I might need to move it up a link. Yep. The very first link in my link tree is how you sign up for Project for the People. Did you say socialist? Define it for me. Define it for me. Tell me what a socialist is. I'm just saying. It's the weirdest thing ever when people do that. It's just the weirdest thing ever.
Well, Dani, I got to get going with my day. I
Yep.
appreciate you bringing me up.
I appreciate you coming up.
Take care, chat.
All right. Appreciate you, Judo. All right. So, yes. So Judo is, he is a Republican, but no, he did not vote for Trump. Yeah, you're welcome, Sherry. So this is the goal, right? To do something that matters, that has an impact. There was something that I was going to look at just now for everybody, because I haven't looked in a minute. So currently, so about 500 people have signed up to attend and get information. Currently, 252 people, 251 people have signed up. So let me say this. His name is moderate, I think, _ Republican. Judo is his name. That's his name. Yep, that's it, Jay Bird. So let me say this. I want to say something so that everybody can breathe for a second. The reason this form asks for your county, your city, and your state, I do not ask for your street address, nor do I want it. The reason this form asks for your county, your city, and your state is because, number one, I'm the only person that sees the back end. And number two, what I do is when I identify people that are in the same states, in the same counties, or in the same cities, or in the same region, then I'm messaging you to say, would you like to be connected with other people around you? So then you can collaborate. Then you all can get together, and maybe one day of action you do this person's neighborhood, and another day you do that person's neighborhood. And because you do, then you do that person's neighborhood. But all of a sudden, you're not alone. Right? So that's the idea. Okay? So that is why, what's up, Miss Natasha? That is why I ask for this information. That's the only reason. Okay? So, and my thing is, y'all, we have 6 months. We have more than 6 months before the midterms. That is plenty of time for us to do really, really good work. And it's definitely enough for us to make a difference. 100%. Did this, okay, this didn't download for me. Hold on, I want it to download for me so I can just see something real quick. I want to download. I just said that. Oh shit, it did download. Now I just downloaded a double. Okay, so if I do this really quickly, and I'm going to have to change this, which I will, but sometimes when people do Texas as, thank you, which, if sometimes when people do Texas as Texas and then other people spell it out, it impacts how I can or can't find you in the spreadsheet. Okay, but give me 1 second. This is what I want to do. I want to do, oh, I know what I need to do. Okay. So that is the purpose, you guys. And Helen, I see you. Helen just joined. Sin will be excited because you're Kentucky. I'm excited. I will tell you, I haven't checked, you guys, in over a week, but we had 18 people from Texas. Yeah. It's amazing. And so just think, if those 18 people, even if they're only in 10 counties, that's when things get good. In just Texas, was it 39? Shit, I don't know what it was. Oh, it was 18, but I was looking at the wrong list. I remember now because I was like, I thought I had more Texas. I remember now. Y'all are right. Listen, get your foot off my get off my neck right now. Well, Jesus. Hold on, y'all. Let me find it. Y'all are hilarious. I was like, good Lord. Yep. But so this is the thing. So this is the goal, okay? Let me just be clear with you guys. I mean, I am always going to be very direct. All right. I don't care for this administration at all. It's not because they're Republicans, though. I have voted for Republicans in my lifetime. Believe it or not, I voted for Bush. Okay. For real. Don't judge me. Damn it. That's not why. It's because I am for people. And I am for regular working class people. Those are the people that I am for. The millionaires, the billionaires, they don't do it for me. Corporations damn sure don't do it for me. I am so tired of corporations being put ahead of people, especially ahead of children in this country. I cannot stand it. I cannot stand it. Kat, you have to tell me what congressional district Providence County is in. That's why you think that's why I should run for office? No, here's the thing. When you run for office, especially the way that our systems are now, they only want you if you will raise a bunch of money for the party. I don't have any interest in doing that. I personally don't think that we should be asking regular people for a damn dime. I just don't. I do not. I think there's enough fucking billionaires and millionaires that if the DNC or the RNC needs money, let them get it from them. So I'm just not going to be down for, oh, we're whatever close to our goal or behind on our goal and blah, blah, blah. I don't like that. Right. The second thing is that then you have to spend all of your time sitting in congressional hearings, sitting in talking to people, blah, 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 whatever. And then at the end of the day, I'm only one vote. Yay, we are better than this. I love that. So at the end of the day, guys, I'm still only one vote. But doing what I'm doing right now, I can impact hundreds of people. Like right now. And as I impact hundreds of people, right? Hopefully thousands of people. Like yesterday when my grandson got sick at school, I could say, hey folks, I got to go because the grandbabies come first, but I'll be back. And I can get off of here and then I can go get my grandbaby. I can bring him home, give him some medicine, right? And then I can, once he's good, I can settle back down and then I can go live for a little bit more and talk to you guys some more. Right? When my other grandbaby last Friday, when she needed to go an hour and a half away, right, to have a CT scan of her lungs because she has chronic pulmonary disease. She was born at 26 weeks. She only weighed 1 pound, 3 ounces at birth. So when she needs that, I can just say, guys, I won't be live today. I might be live later, but I gotta go take Bella. We gotta go get the imaging done of them lungs. Like if I was just interested in just me, I would go to Congress. I would take $175,000 a year. I'd get great fucking healthcare for the rest of my life and be down. But I'm not. I can't. It's just not who I am. It's not who I am. So appreciate you guys. Overstate line, Massachusetts district line, district is 4. Let me look real quick. Appreciate that. Let me look really quickly. I got somebody else's parents they're wanting me to look for the parents. So you said Rhode Island District 4. Is that what you're saying to me? Let me see. Yeah, Rhode Island only has 2 districts. Rhode Island District 1 is 11,000 people are projected to lose their Medicaid. Rhode Island is 11,000. Dom is feeling better. His fever finally broke because his fever hit 101.5 yesterday evening, PA8. Okay, let me do PA8 real quick. And so he is doing better. PA8. Oh, PA8 is 28,000. 28,000 people are projected to lose their Medicaid by 2034 because of the bill. Yeah. Y'all gonna keep putting these in here. I missed the cat. I didn't see it. Yeah, you're welcome. Indiana 3. Let me look real quick. Speak of the young man. Everybody's asking how you are. He said, "Oh, I'm good." Yeah, he slept. He didn't even eat dinner last night. So Indiana District 3. Oh, that's cute, Sandy. Indiana District 3 is 25,000 children and adults are projected to lose. Oh, can I show you guys this? Let me show you. Hold on. This is one that I could show you, and it's really cool. Oh, Kat, I have to pull them all down. I'm going to give out the information at the meeting. Yeah. Hold on. I want to show you guys something that I did. So when your state calls Medicaid something different, I actually put that on the graphics for you so that you know what it is. So look. So for example, Indiana calls it Healthy Indiana. And then in parentheses, I put Medicaid for you so that you would know. Yep, which he ate for the first time this morning. He didn't eat it all after I picked him up from school yesterday. But so this is so that if your state calls it something different, then it's listed that way. So for example, let me show you. In Arizona, so Arizona, you all call it Arizona AHCCCS. So it's there as well. And if you're in Arizona District 3, it's 69,000 people. Yeah. But yeah, so here's what I'm doing. When I give people access to these documents, that happens on the 9th. Okay. It happens on the 9th at our next meeting. And it happens, yeah. And then we're going to role play and we're going to talk about how to use the information and how to have conversations and the playbook. And I'm just going to let me just go ahead and tell you now, all of them do have my watermark on them. They do have my logo on them. They are watermarked. Don't be an asshole and remove it, please, because it's all part of a project. It is all copywritten. If you are someone that wants to be able to have access to things that aren't watermarked, like let's say you're doing a campaign or something, then we can have that conversation. But they all have my logos on them. Please just don't do that, right? Just be a decent person. And I will say this. What's up, Bronze? Let me just say this. Do it for you, not for me, because I have really good energy. I have really good energy and really good intentions. And if you try to fuck me over, the energy comes back to you. So just don't do it. Just protect yourself. Okay? Just making it clear. So if you haven't heard by now, which I'm sure you've seen, but yes, 100%. Right, Audra. No, I never send out bad things to people. What I do though, is put myself in a protective bubble, and whatever you send my way, I'm sending it back to you. So, but listen, so yes, we have 100%. Lost an F-15 fighter that has been shot down by Iran. Iran says that they have someone in their custody. I do not know. That hasn't been confirmed yet. the United States of America has confirmed that it was shot down and that there is a search and rescue mission happening. So that is something that is happening right now. Yeah. So let me just look to see if I see any updates right now. Yeah, the search for the crew is underway. This all happened in the last 30 minutes or so, 35, 40 minutes or so. Iran says that they have captured the pilots. Let me look real quick over here for you guys. So also Israel has destroyed bridges in Lebanon in order to cut off southern Lebanon from the rest of the country. And Israel says that it is striking Beirut and Tehran. So our president is pledging, because we destroyed a bridge in Iran today. I don't know if you all know that or not, but we did. We destroyed a bridge in Iran today. And the president of the United States, yes, it is. Yes, Lebanon is part of the greater Israel land. Yes. So we destroyed a bridge in Iran today. It was a major bridge, by the way. And following that, the president of the United States has pledged more strikes on civilian facilities and power plants, even though he has been warned that those will be war crimes. The president of Iran called Trump's threat an admission of intent to commit a massive war crime. So Iran is also reporting, listen, this piece that I'm about to say out of my mouth has not been verified by the US yet. This is what Iran is saying literally 2 minutes ago. Iran is saying that in addition to the F-15 that it struck down, one of the US helicopters that is on a search mission for the pilots has also been hit by a projectile. I believe them. I don't know why everybody thought they was playing when they said, come closer. One second, y'all. Hold on. Hold on, my mama's checking on Dominic. That's really loud from where I was playing them videos for y'all. It's really loud. It was like, woo. I think this is an appropriate time to remind everyone of two things. Okay. Okay. So, a couple of things. Right now, I just need to bring this into focus for a second. Right now, there are family members of F-15 pilots waiting to hear if that's their loved one. Right now, somewhere in this country, there's a mom or a dad or a sister or a brother or a wife, a girlfriend, a fiance, a son, a daughter, and those people are holding their breath, waiting to find out if these two pilots that went down belong to them. Hey, Dom, can you unlock the door for me for maintenance to come? And they are going to want us to blame Iran. I refuse to blame Iran. I will not. I will blame Israel and I will blame the United States of America. I will blame Israel and I will blame the United States of America. Let me unlock my door. It is, no worries, Kat. It is important for people to keep that in mind. I do not like the fact that we are losing people. And I don't blame Iran for that. This is not our war. We have no business being there, the same way that we had no business interfering in their democracy in 1953, right? You know, they had, and this is the thing that I really want people to know. The UK has come out and the UK has said, so I don't know how many of you all know this or not, but do you all remember before this started, they were in Geneva and they were discussing a new agreement. And I think the thing that is to remember is that there was an agreement between the United States of America and Iran prior to this administration. And what you have to remember is that it is Donald Trump that ended our agreement with Iran. Another thing that you all should also know is there was a fatwa against nuclear weapons. One thing that you should know about the Muslim community is they take their faith to heart. And if there is a fatwa against making a nuclear weapon, you can guarantee that they're not making it. They might ensure that they have the ability to in case they need to defend themselves, but they are not going to go all the way. Yes, I saw that already. And so it's really important for people to understand that. Okay. Yeah. So I like to, right, if they feel threatened. So give me 1 second. Yes, the fatwa is highly honored. Yes. So I like to, so that I'm not just going off the top of my recollection, but these are things that I had to look up myself. Yeah, so I'm just going to kind of give you a little bit of information. And maybe this will be a good article to look at. But a fatwa is a legal ruling on a point of Islamic law. So the thing to remember about Islam and Sharia, okay, is there are civil rulings, and then there are legal rulings, right? And so a fatwa is a legal ruling on a point of Islamic law, right? And it's given by a qualified Islamic jurist in response to a question that has been posed. So there had been a question posed about nuclear weapons, and there was a fatwa, and the point was that they were saying Islam does not support having a nuclear weapon. So I want to see if I can find the exact one around this. Give me 1 second, folks. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. So the Iranian leader that we unalived, he had issued a long-standing fatwa declaring that the production, stockpiling, and use of nuclear weapons to be forbidden under Islamic law. You can come in. You can come in. Hey, how you doing? I'm good. Yep, I know. Yeah, so he had forbidden that under Islamic law. So that would mean that whatever their enrichment levels were, is that those enrichment levels were strictly for peaceful purposes, or to ensure that they would have the ability, if they should ever need it, to defend themselves that way. And I believe that to be reasonable. You cannot expect for me to sit back and hear you talk about how horrible I am and what a threat I am, and expect me to remain defenseless. Okay. But that was there. And so the very first time that it was ordered was in 2003. Okay. And it has been mentioned repeatedly in speeches. And it was notably mentioned in 2010 at the International Conference on Nuclear Disarmament and Non-Proliferation in Tehran. Things that people should know. The state of Israel has nuclear weapons. The state of Israel is one of few countries that have not signed the Non-Proliferation Nuclear Agreement. The state of Israel does not allow independent inspectors into their facilities. Kat, I don't know, not to my knowledge. No, we did not. So the fatwa that was done deems nuclear, chemical, and biological weapons as haram, or forbidden, and immoral. So it's important for people to really understand that, and the estimates, and they have to be estimates because nobody's been allowed to inspect them. The estimates have been anywhere from 80 nukes to 300. You're welcome, Weavers. So let me ask this question, because I know some of you have, because you're my regulars in here. But how many of you all that are in here now do not know the history of the United States of America and Iran before 1979? Put a 1 in the chat if you are not familiar with the United States of America and Iran's history prior to 1979. Okay, let's talk about it. Okay, because what you hear the President of the United States saying, and what you hear a lot of the members of Congress saying, and some of the right-wing media saying, is Iran has been bombing the United States for 47 years. They love that 47-year mark, right? Thank you. And they like throwing that around. They've been attacking us since 1979, 47 years, right? You have to go back before that. Okay. So in 1951, Iran was actually a democratic country. If you did not know that, put a 2 in the chat. If you did not know that Iran was a democratic country in 1951, put a 2 in the chat. Okay. They were. And the way that it worked is the Iranian people elected a parliament. That parliament is like our Congress, okay? And so there were 102 members of the parliament. And in 1951, 99 of those 102 elected Mohammad Mossadegh to be the prime minister of Iran. Okay. So listen, Mohammad Mossadegh was popular because he wanted to nationalize Iran's oil. At that time, Iran's oil was predominantly owned by Great Britain, by the UK. Okay. And the name of the oil company back then was the Anglo-Iranian Oil Company, right? The Anglo, that's white people, Iranian Oil Company. It then became known as British Petroleum, which you know today as BP. Okay. And the UK owned 51% of Iran's oil, but they were only giving Iran 16% of the profits. And we're not even sure that they were giving Iran 16% of the profits because they would never open their books and let Iran see the actual numbers. On top of that, Iran cited that the UK was giving them poor working conditions in Iran. So when Mohammad Mossadegh wanted to nationalize their oil and take it away from the Brits because they were tired of foreign countries having their resources, that was a problem for the UK. And at that time, the United Kingdom was already beginning to shrink. Okay. So under Mohammad Mossadegh, the parliament did in fact pass legislation to nationalize their oil. And during that time in 1951, the UK went to the president, Harry Truman, and said, hey, Mr. President, would you please join us in organizing a coup in Iran? We would like to overthrow Iran because we want to keep control of their resources. And at that time, President Truman said, no, I don't think we want to get involved. This is 1951. He said, nope, I don't think so. Not my problem. We're not going to do it. Okay. And then in 1952, Dwight D. Eisenhower became the president. And when the UK went to Dwight D. Eisenhower, he said, you know what? I think we shall. And his son was actually working for the CIA. So in 1953, the UK and the CIA, so it was the UK's MI6 and it was the United States' CIA. Those two organizations worked together in something called Operation Ajax to organize a coup in the country of Iran and overthrow their democratically elected leader. Eisenhower's son actually ran that operation from the ground in Iran. We created propaganda. We created flyers. We we basically caused an uprising to overthrow Iran's democratic government in 1953. And it almost wasn't successful, but it was. And you're welcome. And so when the United States of America tells you that Israel is the only democracy in the region, they should also tell you that's because we overthrew the democracy that Iran had in 1951. Matter of fact, not only were they a democratic country, they were on their way to democratic socialism. And despite what the United States of America has said, they had actually sworn off communism in the 80s. And we can get into that another day when we can talk about the Iran-Contra scandal. We won't do that today. So fast forward. What ends up happening is the United States of America and the UK install the Shah as the new leader in Iran. And that's because he could be controlled. And the Shah was very okay instituting Western culture into Iran. And when I say very okay instituting Western culture, what I mean is that he forced Western culture on Iran. When we see the images, y'all know how we see images and we see Iranian women wearing like jeans and shirts like we did with no hijab. And they're saying Iranian women used to be free until the IRGC. No, listen, the Shah forced them to take on Western culture. And if they didn't, they were violently punished. Okay? So this is what people need to know. Okay? So the Shah was absolutely a brutal dictator. And the Shah and his son, they both implemented policies, which I just got a message, she's going to grab them, but thank you. So they wanted to rapidly, hold on, who said something for me? What goes for me too, Raymond? I didn't see your other post. I don't know what you said. But so listen, so the Shah and his son, they both implemented policies that was aimed at rapidly modernizing, westernizing Iran. And they punished people that resisted. So if people were conservative, people wanted to hold on to their Islamic practices, if they wanted to still wear their hijab, then they were punished by the Shah and his son. So when we think that the women in Iran were being freed, they weren't. They were being forced the same way that we did to Native Americans in this country. The same way we took Native American children and said, you can't dress the way that you've been dressed and you can't sing your songs. You need to go to our schools. The same way we did that here. That is what the Shah was doing in Iran. Now, what do you think happened after 20 plus years of oppression and forced westernization of Iran? What do you think happened? The Islamic Revolution happened. That's what happened. And he did give away their oil. He did give away their oil. That's why it's BP. So it's really important that people know the IRGC that exists today would not have existed if the United States of America and the UK had not installed the Shah and organized a coup in Iran. When they organized that coup, Mohammad Mossadegh was arrested. He was convicted. He spent 3 years in prison, and then he spent his remaining years in house arrest. So Iran is not the aggressor, and they have not been the aggressor. We have. The Brits have. Israel has. They weren't oppressed, Jaina. So when you are raised in Islam and that is your religion that you love and that is your culture that your mother and your sisters love, that's not, I don't know why people think that Muslim women are oppressed. Muslim women actually have more rights than the men do in Islam. The women in Iran have like a 99% literacy rate. So just to be clear, women in Islam are not oppressed. When you say because they keep posting videos, that has nothing to do with Islam. So let me ask you a second. Because education is part of rights, Jeremy. Do you remember how in the United States of America, women they couldn't take just any course. They could only like take teaching or nursing, right? Like when my mother was in school, she couldn't take shop. Education is part of your rights. Okay. So let me be clear. Do you know what the United States of America doesn't talk about? Because Saudi Arabia is just as strict in their interpretation of Islamic law, if not more so. And you do not hear the United States of America saying anything about Saudi Arabia. Why? Why is there this double standard? Yeah, they are more extreme. Saudi Arabia is more extreme. But we don't talk about that. Why? Why do you think we don't talk about Saudi Arabia? Right, Mel Gray, money. That's why we don't. That is why we don't. Although the president of the United States pissed off Saudi Arabia a few days ago when he told the crown prince he didn't know that he was going to have to kiss his ass. Not smart to say to the Saudi prince. Not smart, Donald Trump. But that's what he said. Yeah, no, not true. Listen, when you say because Saudi Arabia is not threatening our destruction, yeah, that's not it. So let me just be very clear about something. Just follow me. If the United States of America had overturned my democratic leadership in my country and installed a dictator that violently oppressed us, tortured us, beat us because we did not want to take on Western culture, I might say death to America too. And for all of you folks that claim how much you love the United States of America, let me give you a clue. Free speech is free speech. If they want to sit in Iran and say death to America, that's their fucking right and that's their fucking business. And by the way, a lot of the world can't stand us. A lot of the world can't stand us. And a lot of the world has only dealt with us because of the position that we've held. We do not have the same position that we've held. This is not the same world in the 50s, the 70s, or the 80s. Jeremy Shane, we do not pay everyone's bills. Stop quoting the president. That would be the first thing that would be good for you. It would be good for you. Y'all, Democrat's probably not even a real person. So, Jeremy, do you understand that NATO, what you pay into NATO is based on your GDP? Did you know that? Jeremy, answer the question. Did you know that what everyone pays to NATO is based on their GDP? And the first agreement to increase percentages for other countries actually came during the Biden administration. Yeah, you obviously don't know how GDP's workers. You don't know how that works. So let me just tell you all something, okay? Other countries would have better GDPs if the United States of America and the British had not stolen their resources, armed the rebels, overthrown their government, and stolen from them. I'm going to say that again. There are a ton of countries that would have much better GDPs and be higher income earning countries if the United States of America, the UK, the French, the German even, hadn't gone and stolen all of their resources. That's why France is struggling right now, because there are African nations that have said, you know what, we're tired of it. 100%. And they have said, no more. We are going to build our own manufacturing. We are no longer going to export to you our minerals and our resources and then have to buy back the finished product from you. Nope, I don't think we're going to do that anymore. So those are facts, folks. If you do not know the number of times that the United States of America has interfered in overthrowing other governments, you are just not well informed. We've done it in Hawaii, we've done it in Venezuela, we've done it in Cuba, we've done it in Iran, we've done it in so many places. And I'm going to tell you something else that we do. We fund people when we need them for our objectives, and then we call them the enemy when we no longer need them and we want to back the other side. Prime example is how we funded Saddam Hussein when we wanted Iraq to fight against Iran. We funded Saddam Hussein, gave him a shit ton of intelligence and money. What we didn't tell Saddam Hussein is that Reagan decided to sell Iran weapons during that war too. Yeah, so we were financing Saddam Hussein in the war against Iran, giving him intelligence and money, and then we sold weapons to Iran during that war, which was against Congress. Congress had literally passed a law saying that we could not sell weapons to Iran, but we did. And then Oliver North, under the Reagan administration, took part of the money from the sale of those arms and gave it to the Contras down in Latin America because they wanted the Contras to win against the Sandinistas. And allegedly, that is when the CIA brought some of the sugar booger from down in Latin America to start the crack epidemic in the United States of America. Oh, thanks, Raymond. In case you didn't know. And by the way, the documents about all the things that I just said to you are in my link tree. So if you would like to see the CIA try to spin the coup that we caused in Iran, go ahead to my link tree. That document's been declassified. It's in my link tree. Happy reading. Did you know that Bibi Netanyahu funded Hamas? Did y'all know that? That Israel at one point in time was funding Hamas? Sure was. Do you want to know why? Because the Palestinian Authority was reputable, respectable in the world, right? So if Palestine was going to have a reputable government that could be recognized by the world, oh shit, Palestine might be able to have a two-state solution. And now Bibi couldn't let that happen, could he? Do you want to know a funny fact? Every time the media says to you that Israel is having to fight Hezbollah and Israel has had to respond to Hamas and Hezbollah, you need to understand that Israel has been bombing Palestine and Lebanon for years, way before Hezbollah or Hamas was ever founded. Hezbollah did not exist until 1982. Why did Hezbollah form? Because Israel was bombing the shit out of Lebanon. So the resistance formed to defend Lebanon. Same thing with Hamas. Appreciate you guys sharing and liking the live. Now, my regular people, you guys don't participate. My regular folks that are always here, you don't participate in this. For those of you all that are new to me, what would you say if I told you that for decades, for years now, our police force many of them from different places in the country, have been being trained by the IDF in Israel. And sometimes we bring the IDF here to train our regular police force. If you did not know that, put a 1 in the chat. If you did not know that the IDF trains our regular police force, now you do. That is also in my link tree. They sure have. And they have been found to have violated human rights a shit ton of time all over the world. How about that? Oh, years, Rebel. The Amnesty International article that I put in the link tree goes all the way back to 2017, so that's almost a decade. Let me see. It's actually been over 20 years. It began after 9/11. And they don't just train our IDF. They train the Capitol Police and they train our intelligence agencies. Yeah. Do you use a lint roller? That's such a weird question. Like that's all you could come up with? Out of all the options? Mm-hmm. It's just weird. Yeah, except most people call them the IOF because they are the Israeli offensive forces. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, I agree with that, Scotty. I agree with that, Scotty, and 100%. Yeah, so this is a real thing. You know, I'll tell you guys this. As a veteran, it has been a challenge to unpack all of the things that we've done as a country and the things that we've done intentionally as a country. Oh, because she's who told me to come on TikTok. Yeah. Yeah, Candy Kiss, my daughter messaged me and she said that she's going to grab Bella, so I don't have to. She's going to grab them. So I don't have to. But thank you. Yeah. So it's just really important that you don't let your bias keep you from hearing facts. It's real important. We can't become what we can be if we never acknowledge who we are and who we've been. Right? We can't become who we can be if we don't acknowledge who we are and who we've been. Right? And so like that's just how long did it take you to come to terms? I don't know, because here's the thing. Like, there were things that I knew we were involved in because of my job in the military, right? So in the military, my clearance was top secret SCI, right? Which is sensitive compartmental information. It means I worked in a SCIF, which is SCIF. I worked in a SCIF, which is the facility where classified documents and information is supposed to be kept, not beside toilets and on stages at fucking clubs. But that's where I worked. And so, sometimes we saw messages, and I knew, some of the countries we were in and some of the things that we were involved in. But it wasn't knowing where we were, and it wasn't even knowing what we did, right? Do you sign something? Girl, you sign something while you're in the military. Yes. And if I talk about anything that I saw, for every occurrence, it is subject to 20 years in prison and a $200,000 fine. Yeah. I signed that document before I even get to go in the facility. Yes, ma'am. What's up, Jalingo? Yeah. Just saying. It works the same fucking way. It works the same way. That's why I laugh when people are like, the FBI is watching TikTok, and I'm saying, them motherfuckers, they know who I am. But let me go back and let me finish this part. Okay. So it's not knowing where we were and what we did. It's knowing that everything I'd been told about why we were where we were and why we were doing what we did. That was the part that was devastating. That was the part that was devastating. Because it's like, when you believe that what you're doing is something that you have to do for the good, it's completely different when you discover that it didn't have to be done at all. And it was done for everything except the good. Did the truth taint me? In what way? In what way? So, I mean, I don't think it couldn't, right? I don't think that it couldn't. Like, I definitely feel some sort of way that I lost my dad when he was 32 years old. And as a 6-month-old baby, I never got to grow up with my father because he served 2 tours in Vietnam and got lung cancer from the Agent Orange, a place we didn't have to be and had no business being. I'm a little pissed, to know that one of my brothers is 55 and has multiple myeloma from being in Iraq when there were no fucking weapons of mass destruction. I'm a little tainted. Eileen, that's exactly where my brother got the multiple myeloma, because of the burn pits in Iraq. And there were no weapons of mass destruction. He's literally in chemo right now. So, I mean, I can't say, oh no, finding out didn't taint me. Of course it did. Yeah, of course it did. Because it was something that at one point in time, you gotta remember, y'all, I joined when I was 17, and I left 2.5 months after I graduated high school. I was so ready. My whole family had served. My mother had served. My brothers had served. My dad had served, right? And it was this family thing. And I was so ready and I was so proud. I am the recruit that put the camouflage in her ears and on her teeth. I was fucking in. I was that girl. And you know, yes. Yes. The camo on the teeth. Yeah. 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 All day. Um, and I can't imagine how Vietnam vets or Afghanistan vets or Iraqi vets feel if they've had to take a life. You know? How would it feel to know you took a life for no fucking reason? There were no weapons of mass destruction. No, he told him to, no, Nancy, he told him to immediately retire and take his retirement package. Yeah, moral injury is hell. You better believe that, Jen. Right? You know, it's how I feel about the 20,000, 30,000 soldiers that are heading over to Iran right now, that are headed over to the Middle East. For fucking what? For what? Like when you join the military, the idea is to serve your country. Being over there today is not serving the United States of America. Our soldiers that are being deployed right now are not putting their lives on the line for the United States. We're not under threat. You know? It's something else to think about. And the thing that irritates me is when people in positions that could influence things keep making it about Democrats and Republicans. The fuck are y'all doing? I mean, when it comes time to cast a ballot, do we have to change the majority in Congress? Yes. Also, make no mistake, where we are is not about Republicans and Democrats. Where we are, and I said this yesterday and I'm going to say it again, where we are as a country right now is specifically about white nationalism, Christian nationalism, and Zionism. Where we are right now is because of those three things. And there's no way I'm going to sugarcoat that. It's white nationalism, it's Christian nationalism, and it's Zionism. Those three things. And so, what people have to ask themselves, right, is are we, because, like, here's my thing. I don't believe that nationalism is patriotism. I believe that they are two distinctly different things. No, Jared doesn't have anything to do with while in Iran, but Jared is doing what they always do. He's going to make a buck while he can. We are in Iran because of Israel. And if we just happen to have the opportunity for them to grift at the same fucking time, they're going to go balls to the wall and make it happen. You know? Part of what Iran is a distraction so that Israel can take Lebanon. Not a distraction as in it's meaningless, but part of Israel's game plan is for the United States of America to get involved with Iran so that our press and our media doesn't pay attention to them taking Lebanon. They want all eyes on Iran and no eyes on Lebanon and Gaza because they are bombing the shit out of Lebanon and Gaza right now. Both. Right, Cinderella. Israel said we will not be putting boots on the ground in Iran. And so another way of saying that is the president of the United States is okay sacrificing the lives of Americans for the greater Israel project. We are okay with Americans dying for Zionism. Just so everyone understands that. What's up, Goody Grams? And this is the thing that I'm saying to you all. Domestic policy is where Democrats and Republicans are different. Because we're financing them, Kenny. That's how they can afford it. Because we're financing them. Yeah. %100%. That's why our debt the deficit has doubled in the first year of this listen, y'all, in case you missed it, I know my regulars didn't, but in case you missed it, last week, the United States Treasury said that the United States of America is insolvent. We have $39 trillion in debt and $6 trillion in assets. Republicans and Democrats are not the same when it comes to domestic policy. They are the same when it comes to Israel. That's the difference. Republicans and Democrats are not the same when it comes to domestic policy. When it comes to Israel, they are. And a lot of foreign policy. I don't know what the White House pages say because I don't go to the White House's page. They lie all the damn time. No, I do not go to the White House for a source of any damn thing. Mm-mm. What do you mean? You saying you don't believe in Q clearance? What are you talking about? Right. Like, no. Yeah. Like there's no way in hell I would listen. Do you know how Caroline Levitt is lying? Her mouth is open. That's how you know. If you want to know how you know Caroline Levitt is lying, her mouth is opening. She's answering the fucking question from the press. That's how you know she's lying. That's it. I'm just telling you. Yeah, that's 100%. That's all she know how to do. No, I'm not listening to the interim AG. Listen, the interim AG is under investigation already by state bar associations, and the interim AG ain't about shit either. Listen, the entire senior leadership of the DOJ is corrupt. What's up, Sekhmet? It's corrupt. And it has been since day one. If you were not listening to Erez Ravini and his whistleblower testimony, we went through all of those court documents on this live. I sat up here with 3 different court documents laid out, and we went through all of them and we did the timeline. So this is what was happening with the 200 Venezuelans and Kilmar Abrego Garcia, right? And at this time, this is what was happening in the DOJ. At this time, this is what was happening in the federal courts. Like literally, we went through it. This is what was happening when this was happening, and this was happening, and this was happening. And here's the text messages that they sent, and here's the emails that they sent, because Erez Ravini kept all of it, and he provided all of it in his whistleblower complaint in the court system. I don't know how many of you all know that Emil Bovee forced the Southern District of New York to drop the charges against Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, because he said he would work with them on immigration with ICE in New York. And when the current AG would not do it, she resigned. And he got another AG that would do it. And when they had a meeting about it and they were taking notes, he said, nobody takes notes in here. And he had the staff go around and collect all of the written notes in the room. Like the damn mob. No, you thought you was walking out of here with some evidence? No, you're not. And that's the Department of Justice. That is the Department of Justice. Right, Titus, that's the Department of Just Us. This is where we are. And so for me, I am, Scotty. I was hoping Bella was about to come through the door so I could have her get me some more water. So let me just say this to you all. One of the things that I have to do, let me make sure I think they locked my door back. Hold on. Let me make sure Bella can get in. Yeah, they did. Okay, so let me say this to you guys. So one of the things that I want us to do, okay, is what I want us to do that we yeah, Israel been spying on us. Come on, they bombed our damn ship in 1967. Y'all do know that Israel bombed us, right? Killed some of our sailors on a damn ship, and we didn't do nothing about it. But we didn't do anything about Rachel Corey either. So we didn't do anything about Mohammed Ibrahim, the teenager. Right. So, but let me just tell y'all, okay? So, oh, you didn't know that? Yes, it is literally called the USS Liberty. And there's a whole website where the veterans from that ship talk openly about how they feel about what happened and their country abandoning them. Hey, girl. You had a good day today? Yeah. What did you guys do?
We had lunch in the place.
Did you really? Ooh, that was fun. So one of the things that's really important is, so two things that I have to do to stay balanced in all of this, okay, is I want to know the information, right? Miss Carla said, hi, Bella Boo. You want to come over here and say hi real quick?
Yeah.
She said, yeah, come on over here. You can come say hi to the people. Say hello.
Hi.
And you're over here too. You're on two screens.
Hello.
Hello. Will you do me a favor? Will you take this and get me some water?
Okay.
Thank you very much. No, you can just bring it back. Look, they're all saying hi, Bella. Look. So yeah, that's my girl. So one of the things that I want to do is I want to know the facts and I want to know the information. And at the same time, I have to be focused on what we can do that's positive, what we can do that helps us truly be great, right? Because I can't just not have hope and I can't just give up. Like I have to, you know what I mean? Time for some ice cream. Pam said so. I have to get some ice cream, I think. Thank you, love bug. Your phone is in my bag. So like it's really important. You know what I mean? And I think the other part, right? Too many grandbabies to not have hope. Yeah, we're gonna color Easter eggs tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to color Easter eggs tomorrow. And then we are going to, on Sunday, we're going to just do the plastic eggs and candy in them. And me and my niece usually all run out and hide the eggs while my daughter keeps a hold of the kids. Love that, Titus. And, yeah. So, you know, I am excited about that. And then they're going to be out and, they're going to be out of school. And so next week I get to be mobile. Do I have Kit Kats? I don't know. I don't know if I still have any. But so I get to be mobile and take them to some of our favorite places and do things. And so I'm really excited about that. Really excited about that. Yeah, you know, sometimes I feel bad, like on the weekends or if I do nighttime lives. No, I didn't hear anything about Kit Kats, probably because we don't eat them that much. But sometimes I feel guilty because I am working a lot, especially like with all the graphics and the things for Project for the People. It's been like 12 to 16-hour days. And so Oh, what's up, Fort Washington, Maryland? And so, oh, someone took 413,000 of them. That's hilarious. But sometimes I feel a little guilty because I'm doing so much, and sometimes like I feel bad because the kids are here sometimes. And don't get me wrong, they get a ton of my attention, but sometimes I do feel bad because of how much I'm working. Like even if I have to pull the computer over there and I'm working beside them. And so I'm excited this week to be able to take them somewhere and let them have some fun, you know. So that I'm excited to do. I love Butter Pecan and I love Rocky Road. So Rocky Road was always my favorite when I was a kid, and so I still love it today. The best Rocky Road is the one that has almonds in it, not the ones with peanuts. Just so we're clear about that. And then my adult favorite is Butter Pecan. Now, let me tell you, having said that, I have recently discovered a Baskin Robbins flavor strawberry cheesecake, and holy shit, it's pretty good. Oh, Nene, what's wrong with you? You need to hush. Nene said, I don't like ice cream with nuts of any kind. Girl, hush. I'm just saying. Yeah. So, no, I'm an ice cream. I could do ice cream. Yeah, I'm an ice cream girl. So, 100%. Yeah. 100%. And we know if Cat Whisperer is in here, she loves ice cream. That much we know. So the kids do like TCBY when they get to go and put their little toppings on it and all those things. So yeah, I do like them. I'm actually gonna make some chocolate chip cookies for them too. But anyway, I really kind of want to make. So let me just say this to you all. Yes, they still have TCBY. Yes, they do. And if you have the opportunity, you want to do wet walnut topping. How many of you all know what wet walnut topping is? It's the walnuts in the syrup. Do that in your life. It is walnuts in the syrup, and holy shit. Yeah. Wet walnut topping. It's definitely a Southern thing, but oh yeah. Oh yeah. If you worked at Dairy Queen, you definitely know what it is. Yeah. Yes. So TCBY is just like a sweet frog. No, I haven't. Yeah, not us all talking about foods. We're definitely all foodies in here, apparently. I guess we are all foodies in here. TCBY has wet walnuts too. At least ours does. Yeah, I know, Kat. Unilever. I know. I do eat real cheesecake. Yeah. I'm just saying. Um, right, Kayla, we need snacks. We need snacks for sure. Um, no, but now in the wintertime, as you all know, my folks that have followed me for a long time, in the wintertime, I love to bake. So we are some from scratch chocolate chip cookie, sugar cookie making people. And then my favorite cake to make from scratch is carrot cake. I make one of the best carrot cakes either. So much so that people, when I had my corporate job way many years ago, they would literally pay me to make carrot cake and bring to work. Yeah. Even the icing is homemade. Even the icing is homemade. Oh, yay. Sassy Cinderella just ordered a bundle. Love that. Oh, listen, you can say I lost you at carrot cake. That's because you have not had mine. And I love German chocolate cake too. Yeah, both. So I've literally got the kids learning how to decorate with piping bags. Okay. Do you know what's crazy is Bella's really good at it. First time out the gate, she's really good at piping. Yeah. I do have a carrot cake recipe. Yeah. Yes. Homemade cream cheese icing. Yes. Yeah. And I do love German chocolate cake too. I don't know how we got to food. Oh, because somebody said it was ice cream time. No, carrot cake does not taste like carrots. And I'm the person that mine has pineapple in it and all the stuff. Not Mila trying to hide from me. You took one yesterday.
I didn't take one yesterday. I put it in the fridge.
You put it in the fridge?
Yeah.
Okay. You can take one.
Thank you.
Okay. She just ran. I'll wait for her to come back. I have not. It's really good. Yep, Carla.
Okay, I love you.
Okay.
See you later.
Love you too. Bye. Yeah. So I'll let you guys say hi to Mila as well. But so serious speaking, folks, for everybody that is still in here, yeah.
I need to borrow vanilla.
What?
I need to borrow vanilla.
Okay. Didn't you borrow vanilla from me last time? And that's why I had to buy one because I went to bake and I didn't have one.
Maybe. I'll put it in
No, not maybe. That's definitely.
So.
Yes.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yes. Cause I called you and I said, did you take my vanilla out the cabinet?
I'm pretty sure I brought it back.
But did I have to call you to get it?
Probably. You probably did.
Right. It's okay. So while I wait for Mila to take her shoes off, right, Chris? My subscribers are like, no, we remember that. That's exactly what happened.
Not too much. No one has to clock me. Thank you.
I was like,
I hope everyone has a lovely day.
yeah, whatever, man. It's like, what? Yeah, the other day I went to get, I forget what I was getting, and I was like, where is my, you want to come say hi real quick? Miss Carla was saying hi to you. Come here. How was your Easter egg hunt today? Was it fun? Okay, look, you're over here and over here. There are people in both places. Yeah. Yeah. Did you do your Easter egg hunt today? Yeah.
And Odie and Saya have 5 eggs.
Saya found 5 eggs. How many eggs did you get?
Like 92.
Like 92? Like 92? Are you sure it was that many? Yeah. Did you have candy in them?
No.
No. Okay. Your phone is in my bag. You're so silly. Okay, go. She's so funny. I'll say, you love me? And she'll say, yes. And I'll say, how much do you love me? And she'll say, 21, 24, 100 million, 22. It's in there. And I'll say, wow, that's a lot, girl. Bring me my bag and I'll get it for you. Oh, thanks, Natasha. Come on, girl. That's because you have it in front of your face. So funny. Oh my goodness. Look, here. It's right here, chickadee. I'm telling you. Okay, right there. Here, put my bag back. Put my bag back. Thank you, babes. So yeah, this be the life, y'all. Right here. This be the life. Not right there, girl. Put it back on the counter where it goes. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, so they both look like me in different ways. I missed it. Oh no, I saw it. I think. Maybe I didn't. But anyway, thank you. Okay, so okay, so important things. If you haven't, please make sure that you go to the link tree into his fever broke, Lisa. He's doing okay. He actually ate a little bit today, so that's a good sign. He did not eat at all yesterday. Oh, thanks, Sandy. I love that one. I love that one. I've not seen that one. It's cute. Make sure that you register and put your information in for Project for the People. What I'm going to have to do today is finish up the Spanish versions for the rest of the other graphics, and then in addition to that, hey Tip, in addition to that, I'll be getting everything ready for you guys for for Thursday. So literally Thursday, 6 p.m. Yep, it was like a jeweled tree of life. Sure was. And how do you get to the link tree? So if you go to my TikTok main profile, it's under my picture. On my picture. Oh, that one's cute. Blessed and grateful. That one's cute. Yeah. So I'm going to send out an email today. Let me not lie. I'm going to send out an email this weekend that will have a link to the last meeting for everybody that didn't get to attend. I forgot to do this the other day. So don't just give me grace. Give me grace. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to be working on the CDC info as well. He has no choice but to stop because he's already muted. Oh, thanks. Good. I appreciate that. Good, Grams. Yeah. So I'm going to do that. And yeah, I was like, bloop. Yeah. So no worries. I'm going to send it out. The email will come from me. It'll come from Dani. You're welcome, Stephen. Thank you for joining. Hopefully you will come back. And I'm trying to think of any other important info. Oh, thanks, Sandy. I really do love that one. That makes me want to paint that. It makes me want to do a tree of life and do like a jeweled background. Because y'all see my tree of life that's behind me all the time, right? See my tree of life back there? It's made of like iron. And then these pieces I actually drew. So I did these pieces. They are done in graphite and charcoal. So those are all mine. So TikTokers, do me a favor. Make sure that you go up here. Make sure that you click your little red heart and grab all of your points again, please. Pretty please. Thank you. Where'd you get that tree of life? I believe I ordered it from Amazon a few years ago. Because so I have a thing about iron. And then what I did was, I'll show you. Hold on one second. So one crew member has been rescued. They're saying, the Associated Press is saying one crew member has been rescued. Okay. So, and Iran had said they had one of them. So that may be true, but we shall see. YouTube, make sure that you guys, Facebook, Substack, all of you guys, please make sure that you go to the link tree and fill it out and we will make it happen. And I will see you guys later. TikTok.